Warning: the following presentation may be disturbing or triggering to some viewers. All information on this channel is provided by the local news and is public to all viewers for your own research. Viewer discretion is advised.
Wagwan, everybody. Welcome to our next episode of Talk the Things podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a story, and I seen this happen, and I was going to give it a little time because I wanted more to come out on the topic or whatever happened, and some information more came out. So I said, let's talk about it now. And it's happened in Scarborough. It happened on July 24th, 2024, and this happened around Millen and Lawrence, and I believe it was a bar it happened at. Now, police are describing it as a gun battle because over 50 gunshot was fired, and it was going back and forth, back and forth. And people have wanted to know really what going on with the whole situation. We don't have too much information, but let's go over what happened with the crime. So around 2:34 a.m., police got reports of gunshot, and they were saying that it was about 50 shots that was fired going back and forth between they don't know how many people, but 4 people wound up getting shot. One of them got shot and died on the scene. The next one who died at the hospital, but 2 people in total died and 4 people in total got shot. Now, the 2 people wind up being identified, and they were identified as a 22-year-old and a 23-year-old, and they died together, and they were a couple, allegedly. We can't be too sure about that, but that's kind of weird to me, and we're going to get into why I think that. But I want to play you guys a news clip right now, and then I'm going to come back with my thoughts.
Developing story this morning. 2 people have been killed and 2 others injured in a shooting in Scarborough. This happened just before 3 a.m. at a plaza. It's near Midland and Ellesmere. Video from the scene shows multiple evidence markers in the parking lot and garbage strewn around the area. Police say numerous shots were fired, and the scene appears to have all of the markings of a gun battle. No suspect information has been released.
2 people are dead, 2 others injured after more than 50 shots were fired in the early morning hours at a Scarborough plaza.
Shanahan joined us earlier from the scene with the latest from investigators.
First, I just want to sort of paint the scene for you here. There were dozens of evidence markers scattered in the parking lot of this plaza near Ellesmere and the 401. We're hearing up to 50 shots may have been fired, and the detective on scene says this has all the earmarks of a gun battle. So what we know so far is that violence broke out around 2:30 this morning. 4 people were shot, and this has now become a double murder investigation. One of the victims, a young man, was pronounced dead here on scene. We're learning that a woman has died in hospital, and that 2 other victims, both men, are listed in serious condition. Here's the latest from the acting duty inspector.
At approximately 2:34 a.m., we received a call for a shooting behind me in the Ellesmere and Midland area. Upon arrival, officers located 4 victims with gunshot wounds. Unfortunately, one male victim was pronounced deceased here at the scene. The other 3 victims were transported to hospital for treatment. And again, unfortunately, a second female victim succumbed to their injuries and was pronounced deceased at the hospital. I don't have any information about this plaza. I can only tell you about the surrounding area. I know that there's a green space behind us that leads to a school. I know there's a shelter nearby, and there's a lot of residential homes here, but I don't know anything specifically about this strip mall. I can tell you when we get here to any scene or any crime scene, we lock it down. So certainly those cars were here when we got here. Now I don't know much about this particular strip mall, so I can't speak to if that's a normal amount of cars or if that's abnormal. I don't know that information. We had a shooting here. 2 people are deceased. 2 other people are dealing with serious injuries. We take it serious. We know that the impact that this has on the community.
Now, one firearm was recovered from the scene, and police believe that several guns were used in this shooting. As for the plaza here, this happened outside a bar and restaurant. I did speak to some residents today, and not only did they hear the gunshots, but they say that they sort of describe this as a local watering hole and say it often draws a late-night crowd. So, what sparked this gun battle, as described by police, that is still under investigation. You can bet that officers are canvassing the area. They're going through any security security footage that may have been, taken from this plaza, from these businesses and neighboring businesses.
All right, so you guys just seen that. Now I want to get into my final thoughts about this. And one of the first things that came to my mind, because remember I said it's kind of weird that I think that it was a couple that wind up dying, like a boyfriend and girlfriend that died together. Because the first thing I was saying, were they in there fighting a person? Like, were they like what started this for both of them to get dead? For both, sorry, not to get dead, to get killed. And like, was it a long time beef? Was one of my questions. Like, was this something that they were beefing people from a long time and it came out to this? Because we don't know if they were shooting back or wherever the story go. All we know is that they just ended up dying and two other people got shot, but they're in stable condition. They're fine. But what was the couple involved with? And you have to be careful when you go out to parties, because you would just go out to the bar and then you hear some 50 gunshots busting behind you and you can wind up dead or get licked, and you just want to go get a couple drinks. So you have to be careful when you go to those places. But at the same time, it makes me wonder, what was those two people involved in for 50 gunshot to be fired? Like, they are saying it's a gun war. That's what the police them is like describing it as. So the news is describing it as, excuse me. But we don't know if the couple that dead was shooting back or whatever the case was, what they were involved with, who them trouble, what caused it, if they started fighting in the bar or if people came to the bar to come look for them because they knew they were at the bar. We're not too sure, but rest in peace to both of them. And that's all we have on the story right now. Might have to do a part 2 when more information comes out, but that's all we have right now. So you guys let me know what you think about the situation down below, and we will talk next time on Talk the Things podcast.
Yeah, I'm a pretty little Barbie. Got the body of a goddess. Woman,